Abandonment is a deeply painful and hard experience to go through. You may feel that you're alone, but here's the truth. You're not alone. You're never alone. There is going to be people that are experiencing exactly the same as you. I myself have experienced it on a number of occasions, and in this video I'm going to be talking about some helpful tips in order to overcome this period of your life.
And trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm wrong. I got it. I gotta go, run.
Hi, my name is Deanna, and if you have not seen any of my videos before, I do Mental Health Mondays, so I talk about mental health type videos, and on Fridays I do a bit more of a fun, laid back, or more lifestyle type videos, so it may be things like food challenges, or resetting for the month, or my monthly favourites. It could be absolutely any of those sort of things. It could also be vlogs, it could be just anything, and that is why I've done the 2 uploads a week, so that I can sort of do a mental health, which is my passion and what I want to do in life. I want to be a mental health motivational speaker, and then I can also do some of my lifestyle content, which is what I enjoy making. And I enjoy making both types of content, but lifestyle just gives me that ability to be creative. But let's get right into the video. So when you feel abandoned, the first thing I want you to do is to think about why you feel abandoned. Think about those emotions that you are feeling. Think about how this actually makes you feel. Like, does it make you feel angry? Does it make you feel sad? Does it make you feel lost? Does it make you feel lonely or depressed? How does this make you feel? I want you to write this down. I want you to take a notepad out and I want you to write this down, because ultimately write down how it makes you feel, and write down, why this makes you feel how it makes you feel. Like, for example, if you feel abandoned by a friend, because abandonment is not just sort of in a physical sense. You may feel emotionally lost from losing a friend, and this may be because they've decided to walk away, you've decided to walk away, and either way you can still feel that abandonment from losing that connection that you had. So I'm going to take the whole friend scenario, because that's something that's close to my heart and something that I've experienced before. But say you've lost a friend for whatever reason. Look at the abandonment. How does this make you feel? For me, it made me feel lost. It made me feel lonely. It made me feel, quite sad about the situation, even though, that some of the times, in my case, they decided to walk away. And in, I think, at least one, I decided to walk away. And it was hard. Like, you're entitled to feel how you feel. And this is the point of writing it down, is to let yourself know that you're entitled to feel the way you feel. For me, when I'm feeling quite sad, or when I'm sort of suffering from some sort of abandonment or other mental health issues, I like to journal, or I like to make mental health videos. I recently made a mental health video that was about having a panic attack at work, and I'll leave it on the card above, whichever side it kind of appears. But I felt very lost, and I felt very sort of shaky and unstable for about the week after having this panic attack at work. And me being at work, I try to remain fairly strong and stable in the presence of my colleagues. My boss knows a different side to me, but in my colleagues, I try to sort of give this aura of that I'm stable and that I'm a sociable individual. And if something upsets me, I'll talk to my boss. She's lovely, but I try to remain quite open and honest. But in this video, I did talk about sort of what happened, and yeah, if you're interested about how I had a panic attack at work, why I had a panic attack at work, yes, definitely watch that video after this one. So you've written down how this makes you feel. You've written down that if it makes you feel sad, lost, lonely. I then want you to think about how you can connect with other people. So you may not want to connect with other people. This may be the last thing that you want to do, but actually having some form of connection might be the best thing for you right now. And this can be through a friend that you trust, that you've ultimately not lost. It could be through your family, if you have a good connection with your family. It could also be through social media. So me, when I was younger, I had a Twitter platform, and I don't have Twitter anymore. And if you see any accounts, they're either old accounts of mine, or they're just accounts that I don't use anymore. And the only platforms I have are Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So that's pretty much where I sit right now. I might have a Twitter in the future, but for now I don't. I have a Threads actually as well, which connects to my Instagram, but I don't have Twitter as it stands. But I used to have a venting Twitter. I used to have a Twitter that I would vent about my own mental health struggles, and this was when I was 17 or 18, when I was struggling really deeply with my mental health, and I needed that outlet. But through that, I ultimately met some really nice people, and actually I met my best friend through social media, and we're still friends to this day. But having that connection with people through social media has its good sides and bad sides. You can meet lovely people like I did, and I ultimately did meet some horrible people as well, and I met some people that were either faking what they had, and I don't like to use the term faking or attention seeking lightly, because I've had that used for me before, and I've had, you know, that used and it can hurt very deeply. But this person that I'm referring to, it happened years and years ago, but you know, she did fake everything that she was going on. She actually ended up faking her own death, which, you know, then we found out that she was actually alive and well. Like, you know, I think her sister contacted us or something like that to say actually she's alive and well, like she actually faked the whole thing. And, you know, when people do that, you've got to then imagine there's probably something there. But, you know, she faked everything for whatever she wanted to gain from it, and it made me feel quite lost and alone, because she said that she died, and, you know, it was quite hard to come to terms with that. But as I said, I ultimately did gain a best friend and some other friends from Twitter. And it's amazing to feel that there is people out there that you can connect because you have similar experiences or you have similar interests. Because you may join Twitter not just on a mental health sense, but there's fandoms on Twitter. Like, you can have a Demi Lovato fandom, a Taylor Swift fandom, a Selena Gomez fandom. And if you create an account that says you're a Demi Lovato fan, you're bound to have other Demi Lovato fans follow you and then connect with you. And it kind of can provide some sort of community, which is lovely. And I love to see that it can still happen in this day and age, because I'm talking like literally 10 years ago when I had my Twitter account. Another thing that you might need to do if you're finding it hard with abandonment and you're finding it hard to process your feelings is to seek professional help. Seek professional help in terms of go to therapy or a support group. These don't necessarily need to be via the mental health team. These can be charities. Like, for example, when I lost my friend to suicide, I joined Survivors of Bereavement by Suicide. It is SOBS. It is a charity-based support group which runs solely off donations, and it is brilliant because they do monthly walks. They also do, like, I think it's like also monthly video chats and things like that for people who can't join the walk. And it is just amazing how bringing together a group of people who have similar experiences can actually help you to know that when you're talking about your experiences, the person on the other side of the phone or the person that you're talking to about it knows from a deep level. Another way that you might find helpful is to go for walks, spend time in nature, and find solace in the fact that nature is there and that you can sort of experience the fresh air. Fresh air can be very, very good for mental health. I myself, you know, sometimes don't always want to go out for a walk, but sometimes I'll sit and edit out in my back garden because, like, I'm still getting the fresh air. Like, if it's a decent enough weather and it's not too cold, I'll sit out and edit in my back garden, because it is nice to get out in the fresh air. Even if you're not going for a walk, just sitting out there and just, you know, you can listen to some music or you can relax and just sort of listen to the sounds of nature. But ultimately, all things like that are just amazing, and they're there right outside your front door or your back door. So my next piece of advice is to nurture your abilities and your passions. These may be hobbies of yours, it may be things that you like to do. Like, for example, when I was younger, I played the flute, and like I love to sing and I love to bake and things like that. So nurture these type of hobbies. Do them more often and try to find time to do them, whether it's painting or whether it's going out for a jog or whether it's doing yoga, anything like that that you really enjoy doing. Find time to practice it more often, and do this because take that as therapy. Take this as your own personal therapy. You know, practice, you know, the piano if you play the piano, and practice it more often because you love doing it, not because you feel like you have to. Like, do it because you love doing it, and take that as a form of therapy, because for a lot of individuals, practicing what they love is actually a form of therapy. And my last piece of advice, which is the most important piece of advice in this whole video, is to celebrate your small victories. Celebrate the months, the weeks, the days that you are sober, or the weeks or the days that you're in recovery. For myself, I'm going to be celebrating a fairly big milestone next year, which will be 4 years into my mental health recovery. I never thought this day would come. I never thought it was possible. But at the beginning, I was celebrating a week in my recovery. I was celebrating a month. I was celebrating, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. I was celebrating all those smaller milestones because it's, it keeps you going and it keeps you thinking, well, I've done this, I'm gonna be on this path. And you celebrate the small victories. So whether that means you celebrate the small victories of being sober, for example. Say that you suffer from alcoholism and you celebrate these small victories. You may go out for a meal with a friend, like, you know, or you may, I don't know, watch a movie with a friend. You know, it's kind of like celebrating the small victories. So whether that's, you know, you're grieving a loved one and that's why you've come to this video because you're feeling abandoned by this individual, going out and spending time with others, or just ultimately just doing something you love, but doing something special to celebrate those small victories. Get yourself a cake for 6 months. Like, I've made it 6 months sober. Like, do things like that because it really can make you feel like your recovery is worth it. And it really truly is. And I can say that from a personal experience because I'm currently nearly 3.5 years in my recovery, and it is worth it. You are worth it. So above all else, remember that these challenges are going to be hard, but you are resilient and you are worth the fight that this will give you. You are never alone, and please reach out for support if you ever feel that you need to reach out for support. You know, comment in my comment section, say, you know, something, you know, I love to reply to everyone that's in my comment section. Obviously, only comment things that are things you're willing to share, but you'll find that not only me will comment back, but also you'll find that other people that are commenting will comment back. And it is really supportive to have a lovely community under all my videos. So if you'd like to leave a comment, feel free. But I'm going to end today's video here, so please remember that I believe in you even if nobody else does. And I shall see you in my next one. Bye.
Just like you're young again, no, don't you cry. Just get back up again.